Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode number 14 of ShowTheFlowTV. It's Ryan Wells with Kennon.
Kennon Bryce.
We just had an awesome team meeting for OK Real Estate Photography. We had all of our photographers here, which was pretty awesome. Really just have the opportunity to share some vision of some cool things that are coming up, and I can't wait to be able to share that with everybody. But today is question and answer Thursday. So we've actually been doing something, I don't know if you've heard of this app called Periscope, but it's a live streaming video app that's connected to Twitter. And you just stream with your phone, Android or iPhone, whatever you're doing. And it posts a link on Twitter where people can view that live, or just within the Periscope app, you can kind of see what people are doing all over the world. It's pretty neat. The other night, I actually chatted with somebody from the UK, and they were just kind of giving me some tips and stuff on that new bike that I bought, and I thought it was pretty cool. So we had a question come in from Periscope, and this girl's from Illinois, Haley, and she asks, what tripod are you using? So I actually Periscoped last night inside of a house, and I guess she saw my tripod, which this camera is actually sitting on right now. She wanted to know what kind it was. And so I thought we would just both answer the question. So it really has to do with, like, what are we trying to do? So if I'm doing video, I use a very large, the brand is Slik, S-L-I-K, and it's the 700 Pro. That's what I use for video. It's a very sturdy, big, heavy tripod, and it's sturdy so that the video doesn't shake and everything while you're using it. And on top of that, I mount just a real short slider. I don't have a really cool one yet. I'm going to get one. I borrowed one the other day.
Dude, he was like kid in a candy shop with this thing.
Oh, it was great. I borrowed it from a realtor that he's got all kinds of really cool toys and equipment and stuff. But yeah, I was drooling over that thing. Like,
yeah, seriously,
like for real.
Not even kidding.
Like, it actually got on my shirt. So if I'm doing video, I'm going to use a larger type of a setup. Now, for my everyday, in and out of houses doing real estate photography, just for photos, I use, it's a brand called MeFoto, M-E-F-O-T-O. That's the brand that I use, and they have several models. Just go on Google and look that up, MeFoto. They have it now where you can actually go on and customize your colors.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, like, you can, like, for instance, we're looking at my tripod. It's red and black. So, like, the part where the ball mount goes on is red. You can mix and match even. So you can have it like all different colors, like rainbow.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's like brand new. It's like I get emails. I subscribe to their email list.
Well, I need to do that then.
Jump on that train, what?
Jump on that customization train.
Oh yeah, make it look like you, right?
Yeah.
From head to toe. That's Ken. Like, I'll look at the,
sure.
I'll look at the tripod. That must be Kennon's. It looks just like you, like your child.
Yeah.
Can you imagine giving birth to a tripod?
I don't even.
I don't know how we went there, but so what tripod do you use right now?
Mine, I believe the brand is ProMaster or something like that. It's it's like a really similar setup to the one that he uses, MeFoto. It's got like the telescoping. I don't know which word it is, but
it extends.
It looks like one of those lightsabers, like when you were a kid and you fling it out and the legs look like that. You twist them. I don't know. Yeah, it's a Pro Photo. I bought it at Bedford Pawn. I don't know. I always want to say Pawn when I say Bedford. Why? Bedford Photo.
In the area that is in, it kind of is in like a pawn shop area, if I were to judge.
I feel like it's from a movie, though.
It could be.
I don't know, but I always want to say Pawn after I say Bedford.
But they just go together.
It's a photography.
Like Cracker and Jack.
Or, yeah, that.
PB and J. Besties.
Yeah.
Okay, now my wife, Erin, I have to tell this story. She also uses a ProMaster, and last night she goes to shoot a house, gets in, unlocks the door, gets in, and sets her tripod down. She extends the legs and everything, sets it down, turns around to go flip on light switches, and hears behind her, when she turns around, She said it was like slow motion. Her tripod is falling. The camera and lens hit the ground. The lens cracks in half, and it's laying in pieces right there on the floor.
It's terrible.
She FaceTimes me from the floor because like she was floored of what happened. So she like literally collapsed to the floor. I mean, I know that feeling. You know, anytime you like break something that's really expensive or special to you, I mean, it's like the worst feeling in the world. Yeah. A few weeks ago, I had my MacBook Pro, that's my whole business is ran from one computer, right? And I'm just adjusting the screen so I can see it a little bit better. My thumb goes right through the glass. You were there, weren't you?
I was there, and I heard the crack, and I looked, and he was just like...
I was probably white as a ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I was sick to my stomach for sure.
For sure.
But, you know, those things happen. So we ordered another lens. The camera still works okay. You kind of have to, like, pull the battery out and stick it back in for it to come on. But I think it's going to work. I don't know. We'll see. So as far as, like, our review of ProMaster lenses, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's user error. I have no idea. But they're a cheaper version of the Mi Photo. I know that.
Yeah, my Pro Photo actually broke recently. I had to get another one, but it was under warranty, so it was just a swap out, so it was no big deal. But like, there's a part on it that's like, it's made to be like a monopod, so you can take the other legs off, and that part just like snapped, and I had to finish a house with it broken. Actually, I had to just like kind of
balance it.
Just balance it. It worked, but it was not an enjoyable situation. Like when I'm just standing there with two pieces that's supposed to be one.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I get this question sometimes, you know, why do we have to use tripods?
Yeah.
You know, because you think, hey, we're photographers. Don't you guys carry cameras around and mash buttons? Yeah, I mean, like if I were just, you know, shooting like an event, like people, like we both shot the Relay for Life. It's a cancer event, last weekend, something like that.
2 weeks ago.
And I mean, we were just walking around pushing buttons. But for real estate, the process that we use, which kind of leads into the second question that I got, is how do you process photos? Well, you know, again, it depends on what we're doing. But if we're talking about real estate photography, we use a tripod because we take 3 or 5, depending on the camera and the photographer, exposures of every single scene, we'll call it. So, example, let's say we're taking a picture of the living room, maybe like a straight-on photo where we can see the fireplace, and there's, you know, windows on either side. That would be one scene. So, you know, whereas like an amateur might just walk up with their camera and go click, and that's it. Ours, it's on a tripod. We hit a button. There's like a 2-3 second timer, depending on how we have it set up. And after that timer goes off, the camera will take 5 pictures at varying exposures.
Or 3.
Or 3, yeah, he does 3. And when you look at them, really none of them are usable. I mean, maybe one, because like one is kind of in the middle on the exposure. It looks normal. One would be like very, very blown out white.
Yeah, like super overexposed.
Like super overexposed.
Like super high key.
So high key. That sounded like Japanese. So high key. Did it not?
When you say it with that voice, so high key. When you say it like that,
and you got to bow. So high key.
What does that even mean? What do you think that word means?
If you know what so high key means, please respond to this video and let us know. I feel like it's a dish. Like some kind of a noodle-based dish.
A lot of things are noodle-based.
There's a lot of noodle-based dishes out there. Yes, I'll have the chicken so high key.
I think the next time I go to some like a sushi place or maybe something like that, I'm gonna say that and see what they do.
Dude, you have to. Yeah.
What if it's like a bad word?
It could. They might bring out like a severed head on the plate. Can you imagine?
That's a little. I'm worried now.
How did we get there? Interesting episode today. So anyway, one is very high key. Then we've got another exposure that is really dark. But I know you've had this problem before. Like if you take your cell phone, you go to take a picture of somebody and there's a window behind them. One of two things happens. Either you can see that person and the window just goes white, and blown out, and it causes this weird halo around the person. Or you can see out of the window, but everything inside is just dark. Yeah. Well, that's because of something called light metering. And what we're doing is we're tricking, in some ways, the camera to, it's going to get so many different exposures that we take it into post-processing and we fix it right up by stacking all of those exposures. And there's several processes you can use for that. And we're not going to go into all the nuts and bolts and bore everybody with this, but Kennon, what pieces of software do you use to edit those brackets of photos?
So for outsides, I use this program called Photomatics, and then for insides, I use Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. Yeah, and it's basically, like you said, you just, I mean, after you get those exposures, you know, you put the files on your computer and, for, you know, you separate them out into folders or whatever. Just bring the folder into the whatever program you're using, and, you know, so for like Lightroom, you would you know, get the, like for me, the 3 exposures, and you stack them, and then there's a process happens, and it just, I guess, smashes them together.
Yeah. Think of it like, if, you know, again, talking about that same living room, let's say you have the fireplace and it's actually lit up going, and then you have 2 windows where the blinds are open. So that's like really any like amateur photographer's nightmare of a photo to try to capture without using the process that we use. So the way that we would do it, we would take all those different exposures, and it's cool because like whenever they're blended together, you can see the fire, it's going, but yet you can see all the surroundings, and they're not, you know, real grainy and noisy because of the process we use. And then you can also most of the time see out of the windows. And if you can't, like if it's not exactly what it looks like on a, you know, sunny day, we can kind of darken the windows just a little bit with a brush. But the process that we have, I mean, at this point, you know, we were just talking about it in our team meeting. Last year, we photographed 800 houses. And this year, we're all, like, by the end of June, we will surpass 800 for 2015.
It's crazy. Halfway
through the year, and we're already going to be surpassing last year's number for the whole year. So, and I don't say that, again, you know, to brag or anything, but just to say that, like, the system that we have has been proven time and time and time again, hundreds of times. And so we definitely have an awesome system. So I don't know, I hope that answers your question there. And then the last question I got was, what do we see coming in the future for real estate photography? And that, I think that's a really great question, because it seems like whenever I came onto the scene, HDR photography was like the thing. You know, the big name realtors that were doing super high-end luxury homes were using luxury photography, and they were paying a lot for it. We came on board, and that's what I shot in at first, was nothing but HDR, and I was much more affordable, and still am when you compare to some of the higher end guys and stuff. But yet the quality is the same, and even better in my opinion. Of course, it's better. I'm the one doing it, right? But what do I see? I think the whole idea of virtual tours is going away.
Yeah. You
know, you look at, I mean, what is a virtual tour, like in the traditional sense of the word?
Slideshows and music.
Yeah, I mean, it's like elevator music and slideshow of the same images that are on the listing. I think those are going to go away, and I think it's going to make room probably even for some, you know, more technology, definitely cooler looking sites that maybe display the images. I don't know, like 360 degree tours, and you know, we're already doing HD video tours of homes. We call them real tours instead of virtual, because like you actually, you know, see the fans will turn on, the gas, you know, burners on the stove, we'll turn those on. If there's jets in the tub, we'll turn those on, and then we actually do like live action HD video of these properties. In fact, if you check out on YouTube, OK Real Estate Photography, we have posted a really cool video there for JP Homes, and we actually have like doors opening and stuff, and I don't know, it just gives you that unique look, that unique feel. What do you think, Kennon, about what's next? And
a lot of what you said, like I've seen a lot of like people using the, like you were saying, a 3D camera, or not 3D camera, but a
360.
360 camera. There's like, he sent me a link the other day of, I think it was some kind of music festival where they use a 360 camera, and just like, it was blowing my mind. Like I don't even know how, I don't know, but it was cool. But I can see, I can just see that being a thing, and it, you know, changing the game, really.
You know, and that's really what we're about, is, you know, not settling with where we are no matter what. I always want to be, you know, at least 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of everybody else, you know, and so, you know, when I launch something, I hope that people think I'm crazy whenever I do it. And so, you know, whether it's virtual reality, you know, the whole idea of Oculus Rift, if it's, you know, Google Cardboard, 360 tours, you know, all of these kind of things. Maybe it's just, you know, a dedicated website to every single listing, whatever, you know, the future holds. I just think I always want to be on that cutting edge. So now we'd love to hear from you also. You know, my question would be, what do you see coming next in marketing of real estate? We'd love to hear your feedback. Just post it right down here in the comments, either on YouTube or on Facebook. But I think that's awesome. That wraps things up.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us. Talk to you soon.